It's a big day in UK industrial history. The last blast furnace at Port Talbot, the steelworks there, is being shut down. And have a look at some of the history of steel production in the UK. This is showing you how much steel was made by various different countries going back to the 1970s, so just over 50 years ago. And the UK was the fourth biggest producer of steel in the world. Look at that red bar, just above China. And now look at how things have changed in the last 50 years. Look at the red bar, goes down and down and down. And now we are the 26th biggest producer of steel in the world, and no other country has seen their steel production fall quite as quickly as the UK. There's also a shift happening in how we make our steel. So those blast furnaces being shut down, that's a very particular type of steel production. There's two ways of doing it, really. You can have blast furnace steel, and what this is showing you is in different countries where they make their steel. Blast furnace steel, using a lot of coal, producing a lot of carbon, that's where most of the UK's steel comes from. So look, that's our slice over there. Most of it is black. But there's another way of making steel. That's electric arc furnaces, and basically you're recycling steel. It's lower carbon. And the idea behind shutting down all those blast furnaces, both in Wales and also in Scunthorpe, is that you change the composition of UK steel production. So all of it becomes about electric arc furnaces. But here's the issue. That relies on power, OK? And the power story in the UK is also shifting at the same time. So up until recently, or a few decades ago, most of our power came from coal, in that black area there. In fact, we had the first coal-fired power station in the world here in the UK. But look at that slice. It's got smaller and smaller and smaller to the extent that now the last coal-fired power station has just been shut down. So that basically goes to zero. And it becomes all about the green bit, so all about renewables, to the extent, actually, that Ed Miliband would rather like this green line, which is renewables plus nuclear, to get up to 100%. Just look at this, a big change in where UK power comes from. Renewables up to 100%, fossil fuels, so it's coal, but also gas, coming down to zero. But the problem with that, say some people, is that means potentially your power gets more expensive, because it's quite expensive to be fast going into renewables. And actually, look at where our power prices, these are industrial power prices, look at where they are right now. The UK has the highest industrial power prices in the developed world, which is part of the explanation for why the UK has deindustrialised so quickly. And also, it's going to have a bearing on just how expensive it is to make those steel in those electric arc furnaces.